I looked to my right, and my teammate, they were giving CPR on me, passed away in the pool deck next to me. So that was week 1 of Buds.
Zack Ferguson is a Navy SEAL who transformed a turbulent childhood marked by family trauma into a relentless drive to become a modern-day warrior. Deploying to high-risk regions like Iraq, Yemen, Africa, and the UAE, he served as a lead sniper and JTAC, now a co-founder of Defense Strategies Group and a YouTube creator, into training civilians and professionals in self-defense, jiu-jitsu, and tactical mindset, embodying his mission to forge protectors. What made you decide to transition to giving back through instruction?
I had a zero plan. My plan was to screen for DevGuru, and I had some family stuff going on, so I had to attend to that. And then I got out cold turkey. I was like, I'm on deployment in Yemen, sniper, lead point man, and then I have to go home. My contract's up in 30 days. I have to get out. So it was very much like a very, very, very hard transition with no purpose. The brother that's gone. I'm like, who am I now? What am I doing?
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of The Resilience Show. I'm here in Texas. I've been on the road. Went to Smith & Wesson. I don't know how the episode's laid out, but we're at Smith & Wesson Studios. You're going to see a lot more of that. We're going to be using Smith & Wesson Studio, getting some of our guests behind the scene at Smith & Wesson, looking at the Smith & Wesson Academy. We're going to take some of the guests on tours of the manufacturing line and see how some guns are built. So that'll be all on Patreon content, as well as Vortex. They have a studio. We'll do some stuff there at Vortex. Man, some other places that I'm not going to mention yet that we may be doing some stuff at. And BioAccelerator down in Colombia. We're going to be working more at BioAccelerator to get some warriors that have been banged up and injured in combat, particularly with spinal cord injuries and brain injuries. We're going to be getting them down the BioAccelerator through just the generosity of BioAccelerator and through our effort with the Resilient Project to make sure we're paying for some of those treatments for some of our warriors. It's going to be incredibly being on the road doing those, but I always love being back here in our home studio in Texas. I am here today with Zack Ferguson, a former Navy SEAL. He is a fellow jiu-jitsu artist and martial artist. He's a YouTuber, and he's co-founded this incredible company, Defense Strategies Group, which, first of all, I'll say welcome to Texas, because you just landed and just got here. So welcome to Texas.
I got to Texas and I immediately loved it. People are so nice here, beautiful land. Super, super stoked to be on the Resilience Show. So thanks for having me so much.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough contrast because you're coming from LA, not to bash California, but people are definitely a little bit friendlier.
Definitely.
It's still slower.
Yeah, definitely a lot slower. It's nice.
Yeah. You can't leave without some Texas barbecue. So after the show, we're going to go to my house and fire up the grill.
Yeah, man.
So, but man, one of the things I want, before we get into the interview, I want to say, and looking at your content, first of all, you have incredible content. If you guys are not following Zack, follow him, because his shooting is off the chain, really just solid, shooting and your instruction. I've watched some of your stuff and it's really good.
I appreciate that. Just I'm so passionate about. It's crazy because I'm a better pistol shooter now than I was in the teams, because we shot a lot of rifle. Mm-hmm. But I'm working with Michael Dowd, and he's just my mentor, and I'm learning so much from him. I do pistol comps, from comp shooters who are way faster than me. And I can learn everything from a lot of these people who are faster than me. Put your ego at the door. Let me learn from someone who's better than me. Yeah, that's how I got good at it.
Yeah, it's looking good, man. Yeah. But one of the things that makes me really happy is seeing guys like you. You guys are getting out the teams or the special operations community, and you're going out and you're taking those skills you had to teach American civilians how to save themselves, protect themselves. I mean, even if you're a community with a great police department, the response time is too long. Not their fault. It's just too long in a life or death crisis moment. And you guys are training police officers. So you're passing this incredible knowledge that the teams and the special operations community is getting because of 20 plus years of combat now that elevated the level of expertise, and you're passing it on to the American law enforcement community and civilians. So I think that's an amazing thing for the Second Amendment community, the self-defense community.
I appreciate that. The new thing we're doing now with, like you said, with law enforcement is we're doing free law enforcement courses. So no charge. We'll have 30 law enforcement guys, SWAT, FBI, agency guys just come, and we'll just share our knowledge with them. We just want to give back, and they're on the front lines now. We're not on the front lines right now. So anything we could do to share our knowledge to help them better protect themselves and their teammates, that's what we're doing. That's our purpose.
Well, you did you did 6 years as a SEAL, and I know you said you want to retire, but you got out and we're gonna talk about reasons that you got out. But in making a decision to get out, like there's a lot of things you could do. What made you decide to transition to giving back through instruction?
I had a zero plan. Mm-hmm. So I was on deployment, and we'll get into it in a bit, but my plan was to screen for DevGuru, and I had some family stuff going on, so I had to attend to that. And then I got out cold turkey. I was like, I'm on deployment in Yemen, sniper, lead point man, and then I have to go home. My contract's up in 30 days. I have to get out. I was jobless for a year and a half. So I just did jiu-jitsu twice a day with no job, just protecting my family and looking after them. So it was very much like a very, very, very fucking hard transition with no purpose. The brother that's gone. I'm like, who am I now? What am I doing? So
how'd this present itself? This opportunity to teach the Defense Strategies Group, was it like an opportunity that presented itself, or did you seek it out? Or
it was so natural. So Angel Cortez, I started doing jiu-jitsu, and Angel Cortez runs a company called the OG Pumpkin, and he just does open mat jiu-jitsu for veterans. And I saw online, I'm like, oh, cool. I love rolling. Let's just check out this thing. I had no idea who he was. And I'm like, hey, I'm Zach. I'm Angel. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me. I love that you're throwing these events for veterans for jiu-jitsu, because it helps us ground us and gives us purpose and a community again. And then he's like, do you want to come teach a pistol course with me at Defense Strategies Group? I'm like, what's Defense Strategies Group? He's like, it's a company, like a self-defense company. We give back, teach people what we've learned. I was like, I love that. And he's like, we pay this. I'm like, I don't want your money. I just want to come teach. And he asked me to come. And then he asked me one more time. And then he asked me a third time. And little did I know they were like evaluating my skills. And then eventually they asked me to be an instructor. And that's how it came about.
Yeah, there's something cool about jiu-jitsu mats, man. I was just on the road, and I was visiting First Form. And one of the guys at First Form, his name's Jarrett. He works for all the ambassadors, and he's a jiu-jitsu guy. And we were just talking about, like, you could like finish a jiu-jitsu class and be at a restaurant eating with all the guys, and you have like a doctor, a lawyer, like a home makeover guy, like a construction guy. You have some oil field engineer. You got the one dude with the ankle bracelet on. Like everybody's like hanging out and just friends. Because the one thing they have in common is their love for the mats, and through that, like, so much networking is done, and it's a really cool thing.
The jiu-jitsu mats is like the ultimate like humbling grounds. You go there, if you're a big shit talker and big tough guy, then you get your like just body mopped on the ground. Then you're gonna be like, oh, there's levels to this. Maybe I should just ask him, how do I do that? Mm-hmm. You get humbled real quick. For me, I first slipped on the mats with Barry Yoshida. He tapped me 40 times in one practice. And I'm like, another man that's 40 pounds lighter can do this to me.
And probably twice your age, right?
Yeah, twice my age. And I'm like, I need to learn from you.
Yeah.
I'm signing up.
Barrett's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is one match that I always wanted in jiu-jitsu, because we were like the same generation and same age. And not because I wanted to compete with him for any other reason. And I think he's one of the best of our generation. He is like an OG, like, just monster, man.
I know him well, so maybe I can hook you up.
Yeah, we can hook it up, like, before we're too old.
Yeah, hook you up.
I think we're both like this. I think he's probably my age.
He's probably the same age.
He's my age.
Yeah.
I heard he hardens his bones. Is that true? They say he does like some bone hardening.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I can't even like try to explain it. He walks like sideways on his like side of his feet, and like when he submits you, it feels like Brock Lesnar is like squeezing your fucking body. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how are your bones so dense? So I don't know what he does, what the secret is, but
yeah,
it's impressive.
It's pretty. I don't know that he's been. I know that I don't think I've ever seen him get submitted. I mean, I've seen him. He's lost a few times, but I don't think I've seen him get submitted
in the gym. I've never once seen him in a submission attempt.
Yeah,
in the gym against high level guys.
Yeah,
it's impressive.
Yeah. He's amazing grappler. First of all, I'll say, like, on the show, we've had a lot of Navy SEALs on the show, but most of them have been old guys that have been around a long time. And so I think you're the first like younger team guy, which is really exciting for me, because the training that you got is, old guys like me would say the training, you didn't have it like in the old days. It's way better now. Like Marine Recon training, SF training, SEAL training, it's way better now. It's refined. like year-long pipeline programs, and you're producing a guy that's immediately deployable with all the insertion extraction skill sets, jump, dive, free fall, everything. And so like you're a product of that generation. Everybody has their bud stories and all the old guys, but you have like the experience of going through that modern program. Tell us a little bit about what's like going through that program.
I didn't know anything about SEAL training. I didn't even want to go to the military. I've always respected and loved Second Amendment, the people who protect our country and loved ones. So I was like, I'm going to be an MMA fighter. That's what I was going to do when I was 16 to 20, training with Chael Sonnen, Mark Munoz, TJ Dillashaw when I was that young, just getting whooped by them, just like learning, being raised by wolves. And my family's from Boston, Massachusetts. My dad ran the Boston Marathon. He has his picture in our living room with him finishing it with his timestamp. So I saw it every day growing up. And I'm watching the Boston Marathon in 2013. And I'm watching the finish line and terrorists blow up a bunch of kids and innocent people. And I'm a man of faith. I'm a man of God. It's not going to make sense. It doesn't have to. It felt like he took his hand and smacked me in my face. And he said, your purpose isn't to be a UFC fighter. It's a selfish goal. You need to go protect your family, friends, and loved ones. And I said, roger that. I said, how do I do that at the highest level? Learned about the SEAL teams. And that's how I ended up joining. Yeah, so I went through boot camp. I lied to my mom because she's such a sweetheart. Mm-hmm. It was at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, Mom, I think I'm going to join the Navy. She's like, oh my gosh, you're going to go on ships and travel the world. I'm like, yeah, it should be pretty fun. Didn't tell her it was SEAL training. I didn't want to worry her too much. Went there, here I am, first phase. And then I hear an older guy saying, like, the last hard class. Like, I was the last hard class. And then we were doing this evolution called the Beehive, where you're in, like, boots, camis with a charge mask full of water. And from fighting, I had a deviated septum, so I couldn't nose breathe. And I could not stop gargling water down with a charge mask at my neck. And I was struggling really, really bad. And the instructors, put it this way, they just gave me a little extra love.
Yeah, because they knew it, right?
Yeah. And they're like, get out of the pool, you quit. I'm like, I didn't say a word. I'm like, I'm drowning or I'm going to, like, they're going to save me. Hopefully they save me, but I'm good with either decision. And then I woke up on the side of the pool deck and I drowned. And then they're like, get the back in there or quit. And I'm like, I'm going back in the pool. And then they're like, everybody stop. I'm like, I'm going in, I'm not quitting. And I looked to my right and my teammate James was there, Lovelace. They were giving CPR on and they got everybody out of the pool and he passed away in the pool deck next to me. So that was week 1 of Buds. Tough motherfucker that guy is.
Yeah. Didn't quit. Didn't ring the bell.
Yeah. People say they're willing to die or they're willing to take this goal to the very end. Mm-hmm. Most of them are all bullshit. He meant it. For you guys who mean that, I respect him.
Yeah. What having witnessed that like firsthand, what do you say to that about, is that, I know there's a lot of pushback about, with Brad, we had Brad on the show about pushing a guy like to the point of dying in a training. It's necessary still, right? To push that hard because of the job. It's necessary to have that level of training, even as sad as that may be.
Yeah. And, you got a lot of backlash. Like, you have to push someone to red line and then a little bit past it. Because if you push them a little bit shy, then you're going to get those guys who have that little bit of doubt in them. And then someone gets killed overseas. That's not okay. So dying and training, like as sad as it is, it's going to happen sometimes. And that's just it's the nature of the beast. We signed up for that.
Yeah. How'd their class react to that?
So for me, I felt it and I put it in a box and I compartmentalized it in this corner in my head. And I didn't think about it until I got out of the Navy. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, if I keep thinking about James Derek Lovelace dying, it's just going to maybe I should quit. Like, maybe I'm going to die. I'm like, no, dude, I came here to make it to be a SEAL so I can protect my country or I'm going to die. And I'm good with either decision. So I had to deal with that at a later time. We had his funeral the next day. And then the next day we just started Buds again and it was business as usual. Yeah.
Yeah. Did the instructors like kind of make any kind of lesson out of it? They just kind of moved on.
They actually made it worse.
Yeah.
The next morning, I won't say his name, but like he woke us up really early and we had to do surf hits. And while we were all sleeping, it was like before we were supposed to be up. And I was like, this is the guy who gave us some extra love. Is that okay? And I was like, okay, I'm in it for the long run. So it was actually harder, I thought.
Yeah.
Ironically.
You get to Hell Week. I know you said Hell Week was especially tough time for you, right? Well, I mean, I guess tough for everybody, but
Hell Week. I try to explain Hell Week. I don't like bring up my military career unless someone asks me. I'm not gonna like lie about it, but it's not something I just say out loud for fun because that's not why I did it. It is like the hardest thing. I think it's the hardest thing a man can endure. I never thought about quitting, but I'm like, this is like human torture. And I'm like, this is exactly what I want to be with men who are still by my side. I didn't get too close to anybody before them because I'm like, I want guys who like will take a bullet in the head for me and me for them. And we ended up with like 49 guys and we started with 220 at the end of Hell Week.
220 to 49 by the end of Hell Week.
Yeah, and then we finished buds with nine originals.
Yeah.
Surf torture is it's interesting because we do a course with Defense Strategist Group for like mental toughness. We'll put them in the water for like 10 minutes, 5 more minutes, and then they're chatty, happy the first few minutes, and then it gets quiet, and they're suffering, and then they stop talking. Like Mother Nature is brutal. She always wins. So,
yeah, there's no defeating the ocean.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time. So, and the instructors in those courses they know how much time they can have you in there, and obviously have the metrics on where your breaking points is going to be.
Yeah.
As a group, but there's no beating the cold. I mean, there's a physiological effect on your body that you're not getting around.
Yeah. And I was skinny, like lean skinny, so I got cold quick.
Yeah.
There's like big thicker boys who are like not shivering. I'm like, dude, I'm hyping out right now.
This is pre-cold. At least in my day, it was pre-cold plunge. No one even knew about it.
Yeah.
No one enjoyed it.
Yeah. That was miserable.
So I want to talk about like your time after Buds and becoming a SEAL and the things you've done. But what do you take? What did you take from Buds into your teaching today? Like, I mean, you being a student now, you're teaching. Obviously, you're teaching a different group of people. You're not teaching Buds candidates. You're not teaching SEAL candidates. So how does that differ? I was just talking to Coach. Coach, I don't know if you know, he just took over for Smith & Wesson running their academy now.
I saw a video of that.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. So the shooting program you'd have went through at SQT would have been, under that one he created.
Amazing. Yeah, he's an amazing coach.
So we're talking about this, like, training SEAL candidates is a lot different than training civilians. One, you have more time. The mindset's different. It's occupation. Yeah. What were you able to take from your training that you're able to apply now that you think helps people stay alive?
It's a great question. I've never been asked that before. You can't be a Buds instructor to civilians and start screaming at them because they're not going to listen to what you're saying.
Right.
They're just going to leave the course. I'm like a super introvert, calm, relaxed dude. Don't get me wrong. I'll fuck someone up if I have to, but it's going to be in the most silent, violent way you've ever seen. But if I want to deliver a message to a civilian to protect themselves and their family, I'm just trying to give them perspective on what I've learned. Mm-hmm. Hey, we do this way because I've done this and someone got killed. So learn from my mistake and then try this route, So it's a softer delivery. Don't get me wrong. We still like put them through the ringer, but we're not just like screaming at them because they're not going to listen. They're just going to see red and then just shut down.
Yeah.
So it's more of like, do you have a family? Okay, great. Do you have a weapon in your house? You don't. If someone breaks in, you guys are all f***ed. So Second Amendment right, maybe buy a firearm, get some good instruction, learn how to use it. Like, just like you pull your cell phone out and start texting, it's second nature, or anything you do. And our goal is to have people better defend themselves and be confident, like build their confidence and their mindset. Most of them quit like very fast. We do stress courses at the end of every course where we make them do a workout and then shoot. And a lot of them are like, I'm done. Like, I'm good. I'm like, bro, you got this. We're not like saying F you. We're like, dude, you got this. Come on, dude, just push through. Like, you can do this. And then they like reach that next level of like, oh, I'm way more capable than I thought I was.
You guys train all kind of people. Like, who's the candidate? Who should be doing this kind of training?
Women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because men these days, in my opinion, they're soft.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know how to protect their family, their women. Like, I was just somewhere the other day and someone barked at a girl. Like, we were in at a bar. We were just going to eat food at a restaurant. He ran away and left his fiance. She had a ring in her finger. I'm like, that is a real thing. And like, women, ladies, you need to like, the gun is the ultimate equalizer. I'm not saying shoot everybody, but if you're like in fear for your life, get your concealed carry. Like, if you're afraid for your child or yourself, you have the right to defend yourself. Get the training. It's so important.
So like, you know, if a woman or a man that acts like a woman is watching right now, and they want to be able to, you know, like, should they just go out and buy a firearm, take a course? Do they, you know, what kind of training should they be looking for? Like where'd they start? Like, to you and I talking about this, like, it's hard for me to even think where to start because I've been shooting guns since I was, you know, 5 years old. Like, but where's someone that never, like, it's totally abstract world to them? Where do they start?
Good question. So like, if someone asks me, what do I do? We're speaking 2 languages. I'm speaking Japanese, you're speaking English. They have no idea what I'm talking about. And so I have to explain to them, this is a basic gun that works and it's reliable and functional, easy to use. I recommend this one. I'm not stuck on one gun, but this is what I use and why. And buy a lot of ammunition, get good training, and then build your level up, like proficient level, to where you're like, I could pull this thing out and use it without even questioning myself. Because the problem is, like, I have my own friends, and I'll call them out right now. There's concealed carry, my best friends. They've never shot one round through it. And I'm like, bro, if you have to use it and you pull it out and you miss and hit someone else, you're going to jail.
Or you have malfunction, like, I mean, you would know what to do, but your body would, if you don't have the repetitions in.
Yeah.
You're not going to know what to do.
Exactly. And you're going to make a mistake and it's going to be bad. You want to be so confident, and that just comes with practice, just like with anything.
Right.
Just train.
Me and a coach, again, we're just having this conversation. We were talking about, like, you know, minimum time, minimum training, simplify the firearm. All the way down like a J-frame Smith & Wesson revolver, like what you could stick in your purse, shoot through while it's installed inside your purse, in your pocket. You can shoot through your pocket. You're never gonna, if you have a malfunction, you don't need to do tap rack bang. You just pull the trigger again, right? Like, super simple. Most gunfights are 3 feet, 3 seconds, 3 rounds. That's most gunfights.
Get yourself a Smith & Wesson and just train with it like once a week. Get like 3 months of good training from a good instructor, and you have a baseline, and then train once a week.
Yeah. And then you could upgrade the gun, right? You go from a J-frame to you know, now semi-automatic, and then you can put a red dot on it. And just the more you're training with it, the more you
exactly. Most people are like, "What gun should I get?" Well, like, and they're putting all these Gucci stuff on. I'm like, you don't need the Gucci shit on it. You need like iron sights, like master the iron sights, and then you get your red dot, and then you add on to it. You don't need like a Ferrari when you've never driven a car before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously you shoot probably a lot. I'm sure you shoot a lot more than I do, but the average person, you know, how often do you think they should be shooting? Just average every day. Guns not in their profession. Self-defense.
I suggest like find an instructor that's qualified and has like a good background, because you see like RSOs at a range, and you ask them the background, and they have no background. They're just RSO.
They took a course.
Yeah. You can do that online. So find a reputable instructor who has experience. Do like one private lesson a week for like 3 months. Now you have like a good pay, like, you know what you're doing. And then you do once a week. Just go to the range for an hour. And then you revisit your instructor like every other month. Like, that's like a nice cadence to where it's not breaking your bank. And you're going to know exactly, like, be very confident with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. And by the way, like if you can't make it to the range, like on those weeks, dry firing is another option. You don't have to go to the range and just don't shoot your TV.
Exactly.
Dry fire means no live ammo.
Yeah, dry fire. Just like clear and safe your gun. It's like pull your gun out, like know what your like shot time is. Pull your Garmin out, like see how you would react in like a real world scenario.
Yeah.
Like, and it costs you no money. It takes 10 minutes out of your day.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any experience in, I've been, you've been to Yemen, Iraq, like is any experience that you've had that really like sticks out to you, like that changed your perspective on your importance of training? Like you had to do something or you experienced something that really changed your perspective on the importance of training?
For me, it would be like being in Iraq and Yemen, especially, is situational awareness. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm not paranoid when I walk around everyday life, but I notice things that people don't. I was in Arizona with my girlfriend having dinner, and there's a homeless guy walking around, and he had an 8-inch blade in his hand, and it's like kind of dark out, the sun's going down, and there was like 50 people around, but no one knew that. But it's not that I'm staring at everybody like hyper paranoid, but be aware of that there are bad people around. And what's my job? I'm with my girlfriend. If I can't protect her, then what the am I doing? I can love her to the max level, and then she gets shabbed. I can't love her anymore. I didn't protect her. So I would say situational awareness, being aware of like, that doesn't look right. I should keep an eye on this guy. I'm not gonna wear a Rolls Royce, like walking around in some place. Not that I have one.
Yeah.
Like walking around at like a sketchy place where you want to get jacked. Like, be aware of surroundings. Get your hand at your cell phone when you're around a bunch of people in a sketchy place.
Yeah.
You know?
After Bud, you go to SEAL Team 7. What's that like checking in? Brand new guy. I think every team's a little bit different. Some are a little more welcoming. Some is like going into fresh meat at San Quentin. What's SEAL Team 7 like?
Oh man. So I graduated in June 2017. My platoon was still on deployment, and they were like almost done, like a month left. So my chief asked me to go do comm school. So I went to communication school for like 6-8 weeks. And they said, do you want to go to JTAC, Joint Terminal Air Attack Controller? I was like, yeah. So I did that for 8 weeks. And I haven't even had my platoon yet. They're on post-deployment leave. Now it's November.
That's a tough school to go to as a new guy.
JTAC?
Yeah.
Man, it was hard for me.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
Yeah. I
just really struggled with JTAC.
Yeah.
Don't know why. It was just, it was hard.
Yeah, it's a very technical skill.
Yeah.
But this thing, Joint Terminal Air Controller, did I get it right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that's the forward air controller. So if a U.S. aircraft's going to drop ordnance on a target, typically either a FAC, a forward air controller, which is a pilot on the ground, or a JTAC has the authority to put those bombs on target. You even have a number, right? You have like a JTAC number.
Yeah.
That like the pilot gets, and now you're taking responsibility for where that ordnance lands.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of precision, a lot of technical things to learn about that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it. You could probably tell the audience more about what the JTAC job is, especially in a SEAL team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just have a radio. You have like your line of sight radio, your comms radio, talking to airplane, and you're communicating with them like, okay, how many aircraft are in the air? Well, if there's 3 aircraft in the air that overhead, they need to like not run into each other. So you need to deconflict like either elevation, time, to where they're not running into each other. And you need to give like, okay, go north to south, this degree, and drop on this coordinate. And so we're doing live JTAC bomb drops in Nevada. And I'm in JTAC school, but these are live ordnance. And I gave the wrong coordinates. And it was coming at an angle, like directly at us, just way too close. And then the instructor had to call it off, and I got a safety violation. And I was like, this is hard. I need to ask someone who's like really good at this. So I like put in extra work after class to make sure I passed it, which I did. But it's fun knowing like you have a little radio, but you could just cause so much damage.
Yeah.
On the evil people. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome being a sniper and you kill someone with a .308 7.62 caliber bullet. But if you're in a radio with and dropping a 500-pound JDAM,
yeah,
it's a lot more destruction.
That's crazy. We had my older guy. I won't say his name, but his brother is a pilot, and we were doing JTAC school, and he was flying one of the planes. You're only allowed to fly like a certain elevation, or else you're like gonna get in trouble.
Right.
And I was a new guy sitting on top of a MAT V, which is like a big up armor car with a 50 cal. And he calls in his brother to do a low flyover, like a show of force. Basically, the show of force is they fly really low over bad guys. And the backer's like, what the was that? There's a fucking airplane that was 2 feet above my head. And I'll show you a video after this. He flew like, I'm not kidding you, 30 feet off the ground, to where all of the Pelican boxes flew out of the mat Vs, hit a guy in the head, and he got concussed. And he didn't tell anybody he called him in. And I was like, oh. It was wild, man. It was so impressive, like the precision. And then he had like a little mountain he had to go straight over. It was so badass. Yeah, pilots are badass.
You know, the modern day SEAL, like you said, everybody has a specialty on the team, right? You have breacher, sniper, JTAC. What are some of the specialties that a team guy would have?
Yeah, so you have like, you have communications guys, communications specialists who talk to like your chief and your LPO, like to coordinate, to just have good communication throughout the platoon. You have a JTAC who's dropping bombs on targets, or maybe just doing ISR, like watching us walk into a target, like the point man. Breachers put big bombs on doors, blow them up. Point man goes inside. You have medics, which I highly respect medics. Mm-hmm. One of my best friends is a medic, and he's like the most like jacked dude, crazy dude. But when someone gets shot, he's just like so chill. And he just like so good at his job.
That manner.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm like, how are you so like crazy, but you're like saving his life?
Yeah,
like it's just like a walk in the park.
Well, the teams are still sending guys 18 Delta.
Yeah, 18 yeah.
They're doing long course of 18 Delta.
Yeah, they just like love to save humans.
Yeah,
they love to help people.
Yeah,
I'm like, why do you want to be a medic? I like to help people. I want to save their life. I'm like, yeah, that's badass.
Yeah,
and I just was like, what can I learn from you? And he's like, here's a tourniquet. I'm like, cool. I could use that probably in my truck. And I'm like, I know it's basic, but show me the best way how to use a tourniquet everywhere, or a junctional tourniquet. And I carry one in my car now that I used it when I got out of the teams. Mm-hmm. Someone got in a car accident, their whole leg was slit, and I threw a tourniquet on. I'm like, oh, my buddy John taught me how to use this, and he saved his life. So, pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Then opposite of the medic, the snipers, and then I think it's all of them, right?
Sniper, JTAC, breacher.
Yeah,
that's most of them.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted to be a sniper like immediately, and new guys typically don't go to sniper school. And I'm like, okay, well, how do I be a new guy sniper? Because I'm here, I'm shutting my mouth. I'm like, how can I be an asset to you guys who have so much experience? They just got back from like a Mosul, Iraq deployment. So I'm just going to try to outshoot everybody. And then without telling them that. So I got really good at shooting. And I was just picking everyone's brains who was better shooters. So I got really good at shooting. And then my second platoon, my chief asked me to go to sniper school. And that was in 2020, in November. So that's when I went to sniper school. I was like literally in heaven. I was like, this is so sick. But it was fucking freezing there in Indiana. November, it's -7 degrees stalking. So for the viewers, like, stalking is one of the tests. So you put your ghillie suit on 1,000 meters away, and you have to crawl up to a certain point to where you can take your shot. The instructors are on a truck bed with binos, and they're looking for you. And they have walkers, which are instructors walking around while we're sniping. And they're like, hey, stop, walk to your left 5 feet. And they're trying to like pick us out. So I was like, this is some frogman shit. Like, I love this. Love sniper school. It was so cold that I had to wear like hand mitten gloves with like those hand warmies inside to even move my finger to take the shot. It was so much fun. And we were finishing up in January, February. And then they were like, COVID. And I'm like, what the fuck's a COVID? And then they were like, we need to hurry up and finish this. So we didn't skip anything. but we finished up sniper school. I passed in February. I think we lost like 27 guys we started with. We ended up with 22. And then we were on lockdown. Yeah.
Yeah. COVID was probably not fun to be in a military at that time because everything you joined for took away.
Yeah. And I lived in across from the park in Bankers Hill. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to sit here on my ass and do nothing. I was living with 3 other team guys. So we just put jiu-jitsu mats on our rooftop and we just trained every day, like striking jiu-jitsu. And we just beat the fuck out of each other.
The jiu-jitsu community was the most amazing thing to observe during COVID because it was underground, like everywhere, like even California. I went to Clark, like I'm good friends with Clark Gracie, and when they're in they have paper on the window so nobody could see inside. Yeah. And then you go to the back door and like knock and somebody crack the door and be like, okay, come in and train. It was like underground fight club. No one stopped training. Like I stopped. I mean, everybody respected like the 2 weeks for the curb, whatever. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, everybody's could chip in, right? But then after 2 weeks, you're like, oh, this is not like something I'm going to play along with. So everybody was training in the most grotesque, like closest environment you get. I mean, you're getting like boogers, spit, sweat, like in your mouth, like butt juice in your mouth from jiu-jitsu, which is the grossest sport you get, man. But no one. I don't know anybody in jiu-jitsu. I don't know anybody in jiu-jitsu that died from COVID.
No, I don't.
I know a lot of people died from COVID, but I haven't heard of one jiu-jitsu athlete that died. Yeah. And it doesn't get more close proximity than that.
Yeah.
And I know guys that are like, hey man, like text, hey, by the way, I tested positive for COVID, and they're out for like a week and they're back on the mats. And herd immunity. It was like when I was a kid, if you got chicken pox, all the moms got the kids together and just like, okay, let everybody catch it. Yeah. And everybody build up immunity and then they're fine. Yeah. That was what jiu-jitsu was for COVID.
Yeah, the same thing. We put black like painter's tape on the things, and Barry Yoshida, my coach at the arena, we just went through the back door, and they kept trying to give him tickets for being open. He's like, he's so old school, like he doesn't give a. He's like, well, keep bringing them every day. I don't give a you guys. Like, this is my livelihood. I'm teaching jiu-jitsu. And I love police. I'm not talking shit on police officers.
Oh yeah, most of the guys in there are police officers.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of police officers in there training.
Yeah,
yeah.
And he's just like, keep bringing them. I'll keep stacking them up. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
So we use them to tape up the windows.
Yeah, we just tape up the windows.
Yeah.
It lasted a few months, and then back to business after that.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I said, and it also is a good example of the fact that you have a healthy group of people that aren't like obesely overweight and vulnerable to sicknesses.
Yeah.
That show that the human body can tolerate a strand of the flu. Yeah.
You asked me a question earlier that it just came back to my mind, like what was like surprising about buds to me, or like something like that. And it was, and I say this all the time to people because they ask me, the human body can withstand so much torment. Like Mike Day, for example, got shot overseas 27 times.
Yeah.
He shouldn't live. He did.
Then he ran a marathon after.
He ran a marathon. Yeah. Don't give up on your body. Like, don't like, if someone gets a bad car accident or gets shot in the fucking jaw, it doesn't mean they're dead. The human body wants to survive, and the will of the fucking human spirit is powerful.
They got shot 27 times, including took one in the nuts.
Yeah.
And then killed 4 bad guys after he got shot 27 times, and then ran a marathon to celebrate that.
What a fucking G.
Yeah.
All right, so sniper school, we wrapped up in February, and then the whole world went to shit. I have a funny story to tell, actually. Came to my mind.
Let's hear it.
Everyone's on lockdown, and I'm on the news like everyone, and Santa Monica's burning. Everyone's breaking glass. Everyone's just robbing shit, and I'm like, that looks like something I'm gonna kind of go look at. I put on body armor, put on a black tee, put my concealed carry in it, and I was like, hey, Tom, do you want to go just drive up to Santa Monica and like just see what's going on? Because I'm crazy. And so he drove up there in my truck and parked my car. I wanted to see like what was actually happening, because you see the news and they're like, oh,
Right.
the news is the news. And we pull up. 5 seconds after I got out of my truck, 5 dudes got out of their car and stormed into this Vietnamese, this shop owner guy, and just open door, went in there. 5 seconds later, all I hear is and they all started sprinting out and got in their car and sped off, like in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. They were going like 70, and they hit a light post, and their car caught on fire, and they all jumped out, and the car just fried. And the shop owner was sitting there with the AR-15. The cop rolled up, and he's like, "Hey, what happened?" He's like, "They tried to rob me." He's like, "Okay, if you mind, just go back inside and maybe put the gun away." But he's just sitting there like with an AR-15, and the cop is so cool. There was SWAT everywhere. There wasn't one piece of glass that was not shattered. And I was like, damn, people were stealing all sorts of shit. It was wild, man.
Did you see yesterday President Trump designated Antifa as a terrorist group?
Yeah.
Which they are. I mean, you commit, if you're in a group that is under a kind of a unified name, and you commit acts of terror, that by definition is terror, terrorist group.
Absolutely.
And so the fact that they were being endorsed by the last administration, have a total shift of a president that would designate them as a terrorist group, I couldn't be happier.
I'm sorry, dude.
I hope anybody affiliated with Antifa goes to jail for being part of a group like that.
Yeah.
Burning down our country over whatever cause they want to make up that day.
Bring back public execution.
Yeah.
And then you have like, you sign if you burn the American flag, then you're going to prison for a year or two. So like that's the law too. So I'm like, yeah, you're in a country, like wave whatever flag you want. You're not going to take the American flag and put it on the ground and burn it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they try to put that under freedom of speech, and it's like, no, there's certain things that should be exempt and sacred. And I think our national symbol is one of those. Our flag is one of those.
That one hurt me so bad, because I'm like, how many dudes have died for freedom?
Yeah, we've seen that flag, draped over the coffins of service members and friends, and it means something. And to me, like, okay, like, you don't have to live here. This is the borders of America are not a prison.
Yeah,
you're more than welcome to leave.
Come here and provide with like legally. I mean, all good. My dad went to so this is during sniper school, right when I finished. He went to a Trump rally in Yorba Linda, which is in Orange County, California. My dad's 70. He's fit, but he's old. His knees are jacked up. I was like still in San Diego, and he loves our country and what we believe in, and he went to support. And he got jumped by like 6 people. And he got mace sprayed. And my buddy sent it to me. And I was like, thank you, God, for not letting me be there. Because I'd be in prison for murder. Because I would have killed all of them. They were jumping a 7-year-old man for what he believed in.
Yeah.
And that's when he started using drugs again.
He had already beat it? He had already recovered from?
He was 5 years sober. Yeah. I don't know if he got embarrassed or if his ego was shattered or if just everything was happening. Like, whew. I watched that video. I'm like, I'm a protector. But if I was there, I would have fucking smacked all of them. They ran him over with the car. That was hard.
I mean, we knew what was it over. It was just because he was out there representing one side.
Yeah, he was just supporting the United States of America and freedom.
Yeah,
He wasn't being like Tifa. He was in like the left. He was like, I'm supporting freedom of speech. I'm supporting the United States of America, like the last free country.
yeah.
He's not saying anything international. He's not pulling a gun out and shooting at one.
So many people in America, especially during that time, have been, completely victimized, brutalized over their political beliefs, and on one side of the political spectrum, there were victims. The other side, nothing was said, nothing was done. There was no justice. And because I think there was no consequences, like you talked about earlier, we pushed all the way up until what we've seen last week with, the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
It's gotten so far.
My family's from Charlestown, Massachusetts. So like my brother, or his brothers, my family, they've robbed banks, like the movie The Town with Ben Affleck. Mm-hmm. They used to like put wigs on and like costumes and just rob banks. And the only reason they're all still there, he moved to California to like raise his children and move away from that life. Mm-hmm. I started doing like Oxycontin. I just met my uncle for the first time in 35 years last year. I'm like, Dad, do you have an uncle? You have a brother? I never met him before. He's like, yeah, he did 35 years. He just got out because they were robbing banks. And I love my dad so much because he left that life for us.
For you guys. Yeah. See the big influence on kind of who you are today?
He's my hero.
Yeah. How'd that, what was the result of him starting to use again?
When I was in high school, he was my baseball player coach. He was my coach. Mm-hmm. And I got burnt out. I played baseball from when I was 3 till I was 14. And I quit because I was burned out. And it shattered his heart. And he started using drugs again. And then the cops were called. We had to put him in a sober living facility. And I still was maturing at the time, so I didn't realize the gravity of it.
Yeah.
And then it was clean until about like 2020. So when I left, I think we're so close that like us being apart, like it really hurt him. And then I think that Trump rally really like fucked him up. And then he just had one lapse of judgment, and he got really bad, like really bad. Right after sniper school, and I'm getting ready to go on Yemen deployment. So I come home on the weekend and I see him. And I'm like, Dad, and I'm talking to a zombie who's been up for 5 days. And now it's March 2021. After sniper school, I'm point man now. My chief asked me, I'm like, yeah, I'm point man. I want this responsibility. And my sister, Natalie, got diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And she went from 130 pounds to 80 pounds in like 3 months. Now it's March. I'm leaving in 2 weeks. So my mom, dad, Natalie, Bill, living room talk. Dad, if I have to come back and save you while I'm on deployment, I'm going to resent you for my whole entire life. because my sister Dolly couldn't get out of bed. She had to get blood transfusions. She was, I don't know if I can walk her.
Your mom's kind of managing all this.
My mom was doing this. She's just like, totally avoiding what's happening. My mom is the best mom ever, but she couldn't handle seeing that. Her daughter's dying. Her husband's abusing jokes. Her son's gone. She didn't know what to do. And then my sister texted me July during Yemen deployment. I'm Point Man. We're just going on ops with like ground branch and doing sniper overwatch. It's all good. I'm having a fun time. I'm with my boys. She said, Dad's getting really bad. Can you come home? I'm like, you're asking me to come home right now? That's asking a lot. Because if I give the number 2 man my spot and someone dies, that's on me. So I thought about it for like 2 weeks. And my neighbor texted me. I didn't know he had my phone number.
Yeah.
He said, I went over to your dad's house and he found my sister in a pool of blood in the bathtub. With no pulse, and he carried an ambulance while he was high on meth. And then that's when I asked my chief to go home.
Man, I'm sorry. That's, in the military we talk about like family comes first, but we preach that and we tell all the guys that, but it's not easy. Like, it's so hard to break apart from a team and effort, because whether the family comes first or not, there's consequences. And so I know you had to be battling with that. Like, how's this going to impact me?
My platoon's my family. My family's my family. I'm like, what do I do? And I just prayed. I was like, God, what do I do? And he said, your job is now to protect your family. So I was my chief. My chief kind of had to go home. He's like, I support you so much, dude. Like, I'm beginning to fight tomorrow. And I think it was so fucking much of that. And I didn't tell my dad I was coming home early. I wanted to like shot and see what the state he was in. So I show up to Orange County. And he was on a 5-day meth bender. 5 days up straight. Talking to shadow people. While my sister's laying in bed because she can't walk. My mom's living upstairs in the room, ignoring everything. And I was like, guys, you can't be here. He's going to do something crazy. He's talking about blazing infernos. I have to get you guys a hotel room. Like, something's going to happen. That's what my gut was telling me. So I got him a hotel room. And I said, Dad, like, I have to go back and check into the team in San Diego. I'll be back in 2 days. So I did. And I went to the Padres game with my best friend, Tom Nemo, who actually I'm going to see after this tomorrow. Love him. And then watching the Padres game, just having a beer, trying to just
breathe. Yeah.
My neighbor FaceTimes me. And I looked at my phone and I'm like, my house is on fire. And I didn't know if my dad was inside or not. When she was. And I started melting. So I drove up from San Diego to Orange County. I got there by midnight and the fireman put the fire out. Ironically, one of my best friends at the time was first on the scene as a fireman and put him in my own house. With his dad. His dad's a fireman. He's a fireman. Kind of like you and your son.
Yeah.
They put out my own house. Man, they're all gone. Just caution tape. I was just looking at it at midnight and everything was fried. All the memories. My dad's Boston Marathon pictures gone. The room my sister was laying down in was burnt to fried. And then went through the caution tape. I just walked around it. I was so sad and I was so mad at him. He went to jail for felony arson. So I was screening for DevGuru during deployment, and that's my chief of leave. So I'm like, I have a month to decide whether I'm staying or not. And I asked God and I prayed, and he said, you have to get out, dude. Or else they all would have died if you didn't. They had no escape to get out.
Yeah.
My dad was inside of the house while it lit on fire. And he got smoke inhalation, and my neighbor, luckily, was like, Bill, get out of the house. Get out of here. And he's like, there's people I have to save in here. He's talking to shadow people, and not real.
And you like you said, you saved your sister because she wouldn't have been able to walk to get out.
Yeah. And my mom was upstairs, but he lit the house in between the upstairs and downstairs floor. She couldn't jump out the window. They all would have died.
How long did he get put in jail for?
He was in there for like 3 months, and then he had a bail. And I was like, my dad had rock bottom. Everybody in my entire family and his friends all disowned him. I disowned him for a couple months. For about 2 months. And we were talking about Jiu-Jitsu earlier. So I just started training twice a day Jiu-Jitsu at 10th Planet Orange in Orange County. Jabbing and Jiu-Jitsu. And my dad has a brother, Uncle Johnny. He's schizophrenic. He's on a wheelchair. And I used to see him on the corner of that homeless. And he passed away about 6 months ago. And I saw my dad homeless taking a bus ride. Skinny. And I was like, that's my dad. What the fuck happened? And I was like, I have to help him. Nobody else is going to help him. And he was living in our burnt house garage after he got out of jail. And his mom passed 5 years ago. And her burnt ashes were like in a urn, like right next to him. And it was like, how can I help him if I'm so f***ed up? So I said, I need to fix myself before I can help him. And I was at Jiu-Jitsu, open mat, which is like anybody could come. There's 70 people. And this guy in between rounds sits next to me. And he looks at me in my eyes and he says, are you okay? I'm like, who are you? I've never met you before. And I was like, I'm not okay. And he said, I have something that'll help you. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know your name. The Jiu-Jitsu community is awesome.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm a shaman for Ayahuasca ceremony therapy. Are you interested? And I'm like, I need something because I'm melting right now. Everyone is leaning on me. Everyone's leaning on me for like, when I was watching the house after at midnight, and my mom, I slept in my car, my mom showed up the next day. To see her cry like that, I had to turn my face away. Just see her heartbroken. And so I told him yes. And I started working with him once a week for 6 months until I went to psychedelic therapy. And in June 2022, that's when I went. I thought rock bottom was my dad with the house fire. I was like, how much lower can you get?
Yeah.
And then he calls me. I'm on the edge of a rooftop. And I'm jumping off it.
Is your dad calling you?
Because no one else picked up the phone. I said, I love you. Just everywhere. I'm gonna come get you. So I did. Two months later, he was found naked in a liquor store, hiding methamphetamine, and he was put in a 5150 hold. I was like, I still got you. Everyone fucking abandoned him. And he's the best dad in the world. He just had like 5% of his life where he just had bad judgment. I'm like, I've accomplished so much, but it's my dad who, like, that's his accomplishments. He raised me. They all abandoned him. So I went to psychedelic therapy. I did ayahuasca ceremony. When my jiu-jitsu was a shaman. I was really nervous.
Yeah.
I was scared. I drove up to the place we were at and I parked my car and I took a selfie and I said, I'm going home. And then I paused and I was like, I'll never quit anything in my life. I've never backed down from nothing. Go inside the freaking house. And I did. And it saved my life.
What do you think it did for you?
I had 3 intentions written down on a piece of paper. Mm-hmm. Why am I here right now? What do I want to get out of this medicine? Mm-hmm. Release hatred to my dad. Forgive him. So there's 20 people at the ceremony, 10 men on one side, 10 women on the other side with the shaman playing music to our left. So I'm closing my eyes and I feel a gust of wind. So I open my eyes. I'm like, there's no fan in here. The door's closed. I was like, that's kind of weird. Closed my eyes. All the women were crying in unison. And they were blowing air at me. And I looked at it and I was watching all of them and it was just coming into the middle of the room and I watched it like where you're at. And I see fire coming into me and I'm like, oh, this is kind of scary. And it went in my stomach and I watched my dad burning alive. In my stomach, it went in my chest, my neck, my head fell back, my eyes opened, and flamethrowers flooded my eyeballs. And all the hatred towards my dad was gone. Just like that.
Just a one-time experience, like a one-time?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Forgave him forever. That was just one night.
How long ago was that?
That was June 2022. The second night, because it's a weekend ceremony, I asked God, I was like, please help my dad. Mm-hmm. I don't want to force anything on him. I just want him to ask for help. Because I can't help. You can't receive help if you can't give someone help if they don't receiving it. 2 days later, after my ceremony on Monday, I go to Jiu-Jitsu. I finished jiu-jitsu. My dad calls me. I'm like, I haven't heard from him in 2 months. He didn't even say hi. He said, I'm ready to get help. So he did a ceremony 6 months later. And he's been sober since then. Since October of 2022.
This is incredible thing to hear, because the reason I'm asking is one time, because I'll be like real candid. When I first heard about, I think the word psychedelic, first of all, painted a bad picture. And so, because my first impression of hearing the word psychedelics was like, this is something I don't want to be part of. And then there's a side of it that, like, now you're stepping into a world, maybe getting access to a spiritual world. As a real strong believer in Christ, I really had a difficult time with it. But time and time again, I've had people sit in that chair that told me about having this experience and never touching a drop of alcohol again, and coming off of drugs, or having these profound experiences. And so it's something I can't discount, and it was really interesting to hear you talk about it, because, you're professing Christ as well. And so it's, you can't deny results in something. And for me, I'm still never at the point, I'm not at the point right now where I don't feel like it's be a necessity for me, or something I need or desire. But more and more, I could just say this, more and more, I'm hearing testimonies like this, without the negative side, right, of things. So particularly the fact that you did it once. It's not a ongoing thing.
Yeah. And I pray every morning, every night since I was like, as long as I can remember. My dad always said prayers when he drove me to baseball practice in school. I said the Lord's Prayer, and I asked the Lord the second night, and I said, can I get closer to you? Can I get to know you more? And I was flying through cosmic space colors, and I just see a really bright light, and I said, what is this place? This is the most beautiful, loving place I've ever. It was all love. And I said, where am I, in my head? And then I heard someone laugh. He's like, and I was like, where am I? And he's like, this is where you came from. And this is where you're going to go to when you die. He said, I love you. It's not your time right now. You got, I'll see you in a little bit. And I felt like he spoke to me. And he answered my prayers, and I'm so thankful for the Lord. I'm like, he shows up, he forgives me. I'm so grateful to have accepted him.
Where was this at that you went to do this?
This was at the ceremony.
I know, where,
location?
in the States, location, yeah.
It was in Los Angeles, which you would think it'd be like, why in Los Angeles?
Well, because I know a lot of people go down to South America and do it, and there's a doctor down there that administers it in a medical setting, and you're the first person I heard that had the shaman with the kind of ceremony thing. So it was, I think that would have been a hard one for me. I'd have been like, because I don't trust people at all, and especially someone that would introduce themselves as a shaman. It'd be like. That'd be a tough one for me, but I have heard that people are doing these medical and a medical setting, and I'm not too familiar with it. So there's Ibogaine, what the different ones.
Yep, Ibogaine, 5-MeO DMT. This one was in the Hollywood Hills. It was at this there was a fountain. It was beautiful, looking over the city. I trusted the shaman so much that I had zero doubt. It felt safe, and it was in a safe setting. And the second I asked God for a prayer, and just was giving so much thanks and gratitude. I'm like, thank you for this life. Thank you for helping me. And he just constantly is there for me. I'm like, I fucking love you. Yeah. Sorry for cursing at you out. I love you so much.
I think he understands.
Yeah, he understands.
He hung around a bunch of fishermen, and I've been around fishermen. They were pretty much sailors, pirates, just like you.
So exactly. So my dad was he's very against psychedelics, very much against it. And
so I'm curious about that. How'd you convince him? Because man, dealing with someone that's addicted to meth is Very difficult. Like I think the statistic is if somebody tries it once, there's a 99% chance they will never get off. So convincing them to, I don't know this accurate statistics. That's what I've heard that a lot, and I think it's probably pretty accurate. Like, because the recidivism of like coming back to it, even if it's years, is so tough. But so how were you able to navigate like that intervention, especially by yourself? Like,
yeah, I was alone in this battle, and I didn't tell him to do anything. I didn't ask him to do it. That's not how the medicine works. I just said, Dad, this is my experience. It helped me so much to forgive you. If you would like to do it, it's there for you. You let me know. And he said, tell me the date. I didn't ask him. I just said, it's there if you want it. And he went there with my shaman. He just called me on Monday for lunch. Went to Earth Cafe in Orange. And it was one of the only times I've seen him cry before. And he said, I'll never forget, he said, I'm 71 years old now. I have 4 children. This is the best thing you've ever done for me. To hear that as a son, I was like, that was the best accomplishment I've ever done in my life. More than SEAL training, more than any bullshit.
To be there for your dad. What's his life like right now?
He's a rock star. So he wakes up at 5 a.m., goes to AA meetings. He works out for 6 hours a day. And people are like, no one works out for 6 hours. He's there for 6 hours a day. You can ask any one of my friends. Mm-hmm. Like, your dad's always at the gym. I could go at any time. He's always there. And then he goes to church every day. So AA meetings, works out church. And we work out once a week together. He lives 2 miles from my house in a sober living.
A sober living facility?
Yeah, him and my mom, they separated. I have a sister named Sarah who had his granddaughter on the day of the house fire. And it had been 3 years because everyone cut him off, so he had never met his granddaughter. And I was like, that's wrong. My dad is a great person. You guys are wholly into this. So I asked her, I was like, can I mediate like a lunch with you guys? And she said, okay, but only if you're there. She lives in Long Beach. I'm smiling because I'm having flashbacks of him pushing her in a stroller. They're like having the best time ever. And now they talk every day.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Your other sister, how is she doing?
They're twins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with Crohn's is, she resented it for a long time. Mm-hmm. And it took me like a little over 3 years for them to talk again. It's interesting because I wrote a Father's Day post right before Mike Ritland's podcast about my dad and my sister and my dad were in a picture together, just saying, I love you, Dad. And she calls me and she said, take that picture down. I look like crap. She was pissed at me. And I was like, she's not pissed at me. She's really mad at him. And I said, Natalie, no, you're going to sit with this and just let it. You need to let it out. And she called me 6 hours later and she said, I didn't realize how mad I was at him. It had nothing to do with the picture. And I said, maybe it'd be a good idea if you just said Happy Father's Day. And that was the first time in 3 years they said a word to each other. They talk all the time now.
Him and your mom talking?
I thought I was bad.
Mm-hmm.
They've been married 40 years. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine how she felt.
Yeah.
That one took me a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
to see her so mad and sad, drinking like 3 bottles of wine a night. I kept asking her to like do therapy. I was telling her to do therapy. And then I was working with a therapist, and I'm like, what I'm doing isn't working. I'm not asking them to be married still. I don't want her and him to like hate. Hate is such a strong word. Resentment is it's strong. So I just showed up at her house, her apartment, and I looked at her. I just started crying, and I said, "It makes me really sad to see you this way." And that's what changed everything. She said, "I'm willing to get help." So she did MDMA therapy with my therapist. Almost. The first time, this was in 2023, so 6 months she's working with my therapist. December, she's supposed to do this MDMA therapy. For the viewers, it just releases serotonin in your brain, happy, loving feelings. You can kind of let your emotions out with a therapist who's writing down stuff. She backed out the week before. And I'm like, dang it, dude, putting so much work for this. 1 week later, January 11th, my birthday. It's midnight. And I get my signal threads going off my phone with a bunch of team guys. 2 guys are lost at sea, Ingram and Chambers. And I'm like, in Yemen. And I'm like, doing a hook and climb where basically you take these boats and throw a ladder and climb a Houthi rebels ship and take their ordnance and stuff away, arrest them, whatever. And she called me at 1:30 in the morning at the same time. My mom goes to bed at 9 p.m. I'm like, how is this possible? And she said, I'm ready to try again. And she had no idea what I was dealing with. So I said, okay, I literally need to grab her hand and walk her to this therapy session. And my therapist asked me to get handwritten letters from everybody in my family to my mom. And don't tell my mom. I had to reach out to my uncle who just got out of prison, my dad, my brother, everyone from the East Coast, Boston, Florida. They all sent me letters, and I acquired them and put them in this envelope, and I put the therapist's name on it. I said, hey, Mom, this is for the therapist. Can you give it to her? It's a gift for me, which was for my mom.
Yeah.
I lied. So she went to San Diego. I had been up for like a day and a half, 2 days, because I had a feeling she would back out again, and I was willing to like go to her house and like kidnap her, take her there. And my therapist said, stay awake. I'm going to fill you in on how the ceremony is going. And she sends me a picture of my mom on a couch like this, reading letters from everyone in the family. I love you so much. I'm sorry. And she was melting in happiness. Then she just said, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So that's what the last 3 years have been like after the teams.
Man, imagine, just all that you did to accomplish being a protector, being a Navy SEAL, and there's probably not a more important mission you could have been on than, fighting for your folks and putting your family back together. Not many people, I'd say, can do that. Many people can, but not many people are willing to do that because it's such a hard work and so much personal sacrifice that you have to give. I mean, the cost that you've it cost you. We talked about this when we were before the show, like there's a trade and everything that it cost you something to do that for them.
I felt like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. So I was going drinking, I was doing drugs.
So that's what I was gonna say. It took a burden on you, and you ended up having your own struggles in the midst of this with substance abuse.
Yeah.
What I mean,
You could ask
I want to say this in a way that not an attack to you, but like you're watching two people you love destroying their lives with substance abuse, and you do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like what would make you do that? Like you're like, I mean, you're seeing like the destruction it causes, and you choose to do it.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
It gave me perspective on why they were doing what they were doing.
Yeah.
My mom was drinking alcohol to numb the pain.
Mm-hmm.
I was so hurt, and I'm doing what she did.
Mm-hmm.
While I was also working with Defense Strategies Group, while also helping them, and I was drowning.
Mm-hmm.
I was either gonna die helping everyone,
Mm-hmm.
or I was gonna like hopefully they get healed, and then I could help myself. I was the deepest point I've ever been.
Yeah.
More than buds training, more than anything. And I'm just now getting out of it, and it feels really good. And I just give thanks to the Lord.
Yeah. You know, one of the things when you're in a situation like that, we hear it on an airplane, right? You know, you put your mask on first, then you can help others.
My dad just told me that literally 3 days ago.
Yeah. It's you know, we have to be in a stable position, but you nonetheless, advice or not, you pulled it off, and I'm just meeting you, but super proud of you for doing that. And I think your journey's just beginning, especially in you know, when you come out of something like that, and you're getting on the other side of it now. There's so many lessons that you leave with to share with others and to help others. I think that chapter may close for you and your family, or be the next. You move forward in it, but I'm sure God has some things in store for you to help others with that. And just you sharing your story in places like this, and I know you were on Ritland's show, and you know, on Mic Drop, you know, it's awesome dude, awesome show. But that's a start. Like somebody's listening to this, and you're gonna give them the courage and encouragement to help people in their family.
You know, it's one of the most profound things in my life. Because I grew up with no social media in high school. There was no internet. And then 2012, I like experienced none. And then there it is. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I literally thought this at that young age. I was like, this is going to be really bad or really good. Mm-hmm. People are going to use one or the other.
Yeah.
And I got asked to go on a podcast, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have something I want to share. Mm-hmm. So I did. Mm-hmm. I could not believe the amount of messages I got. I got messages like, my dad raped me when I was a kid and then killed my mom. My brothers all killed themselves. I'm suicidal. Help me now. I heard your story on this podcast and it saved my life. And I was like, I still get that from this day. And that was 2 years ago.
You know, that the world is broken. It's hurting. We live in a broken world. I mean, as you and I both being Christians and believers, the Bible teaches that the world is very broken, and they're looking for hope. Yeah. And people don't know what they're looking for, but they're looking for hope. And so even if they don't know it when they hear it, they grasp onto it and they respond to it. And it, you know, imagine like this light. You know, if we're outside right now, I shined a flashlight, it wouldn't. No one would notice it, right? But if we turn the lights off in this room, this is a studio, so it's like pitch black. And you just make a spark, and it's so bright. And the world is so dark right now that when people just see that little spark, man, they're fixated on it, and they want to know more. And so with that, it comes to responsibility. Like if you take that mantle, it takes a responsibility to be able to. You don't have to have all the answers, but you get sometimes you got to point people to. I mean, it's tough. Like I get so many messages about suicide ideations and all these things. And, there's no way to answer it all. But, we have a team that just, hey, this is where we're pointing people to. We have Mighty Oaks Foundation for what we do and, for the veterans and first responders and the spouses. And to me, there's a lot of great things out there. Not to take away from the ibogaine and stuff like that, because like I said, I can't denounce the testimonies of so many things here, but pointing people to Jesus is like, for me, like that's my life mission. I mean, my story from my redemption and my rock bottom was, having a radical encounter with Jesus and changed my life and made me change the trajectory of my life and be more intentional about living my life in a way that has purpose and meaning. And so for me, like my life has been committed to every opportunity that I get to have any kind of voice or platform or microphone or camera, like it's pointing people to that.
When did you stop procrastinating in life?
So when I was 15, my brother was shot. I was 14. He was shot and killed. My brother was shot and killed. When I was 15, a family took me to a church, and that pastor gave that message at the end of the church. It was probably the most evangelical, like televangelist message in the world. But like I heard it, and I'm like, that guy's talking to me, and I just like I like knew in that moment that I needed to surrender my life to Jesus, but I didn't live there. And so I went back and I never had any discipleship or follow up. And so it was never anything after that. So I slid back away, and it wasn't until 20 years later, after Afghanistan, rock bottom, suicide attempt, just not even like, I just did not want to be alive anymore. Like it wasn't even like about a suicide attempt. I just did not, I was tearing everyone I loved down with me. And I had tried everything, medication and counseling and jiu-jitsu, as much as I love jiu-jitsu. And at the time, just wanted strike force. Like, I was like, everything I tried, the good things and bad things, nothing had changed my situation. So I met with this guy and he's, I give them this plan of how I was going to fix my life. I said it in my testimony before, like I gave him an op order of like, here's my plan to fix my life. And, I decided I want to, get back in the fight. But when I showed him this plan, he's like, man, you're going to fail. And if this plan doesn't have anything to do with a relationship with God, you're not going to make it. And in that moment, I just knew that everything I tried didn't work. So it was like, what do I have to lose? Why not try something different? And so this guy discipled me his name's Steve. He discipled me for a period of about a year. And I'm kind of like, I think our personalities are very much like the same. If I'm either all in or all out. Yeah. And so I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I really want to go all in. And so I was very serious about it, intentional about it. And it radically changed my life. And I had realized that all these decisions, all the bad things I was ended up finding myself in were not because of bad things happening to me, but because of the way I was responding to them. Like, the loss of people, friends, and my brother, childhood, having a bad childhood, and all these things, Afghanistan, like all those things were bad, but the end result was my response to those things, and making poor choices led me to bad situations. And so I came to this conclusion after this year of discipleship that my problems were decision making, and the Bible just so happened to have a really good blueprint for making better decisions. And so if I am intentional about implementing that in my life, I land in a good place. And so I made this intentional shift in my life to live that way, and everything really changed for me. And at the end of that process, God just like really ignited a burden on my heart to pay it forward. And that's started Mighty Oaks. And, the rest has been just kind of snowballing from there. And every time, I never would have wanted to be like on a podcast, sitting in this chair, like speaking, like, oh my gosh, like no way. I'm a super introvert, like to speak, public speaking, writing books, like that was not me at all. But like every time like God like burdened my heart to do something, I'm like, well, I have a responsibility to let people know about it. And so I just continued to grow. And now I actually like it. Like I like it because I like the result, I like the impact it has. And so
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about your brother.
It's a journey, man.
Yeah,
yeah. My brother was that was a hard one. That's it's really, that's why I really empathize with like family stuff, because man, that's like I'm 50 years old, so that was 35 years ago, and I'll still I'll be driving in a car and think about the time with me and my brother. I mean, like I said, that was 35 years ago, and I'll think about the time and I'll start crying so like the deep wound that losing a family member or struggling with a family member has, it's a incredible impact like it has on you. And I don't know, honestly, I don't know how, now that I am a Christian, a follower of Christ, like I don't know how people could survive the hardships of this world without having hope in Jesus. Like I personally don't understand. I mean, actually, it's pretty impressive that people could endure like hardships without that.
I was at the Harvest Crusade in Angel Stadium. It's in California.
Oh yeah.
And
Greg Lowry, right?
What's that?
Greg Lowry, Pastor Greg Lowry. Yeah.
I was like 13, 14, and my friend's like, "You want to come to this?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. Everyone's like holding their hand up. I'm uncomfortable."
Yeah.
I wasn't judging. I was just very uncomfortable.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was like, "I'll go with you, man. I'm your friend."
Yeah.
And I just got down on my knees. I went like everyone went on the field, and I was like, "Wow." He was like speaking to me. He was like touching me, and I'm like, "Thank you. Like I accept you in my life." And like you, like, and I went in the teams, and I got like cold. My heart was cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was going through hard training, and I slipped away. But I pray every day, but it was a little less. It was like less intentional. And now this past year, it's like, I'm gonna just say thank you.
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you, God, so much for everything you've done for me. Like, I live for you.
Hey, there is a movement in America right now. There's a movement in the world, but particularly in America right now, where God is raising up dudes like you, like calling them and burdening them to be like leaders in like masculine figures in the movement of faith. And I'm seeing it like crazy. I mean, like just some pipe hitter dudes that are just like, they're not soft. They're bold. They're leading in their homes and their communities and in this country. And they're willing to speak up against evil. And the world needs it, and communities are craving it right now. That's why when you probably get those messages like that, because when somebody sees a tough dude like you, like actually vulnerable and transparent, like it should be common, but it's not. And especially if they're like living a righteous life. I mean, none of us live a perfect life. We're human. But if we live a righteous life, pursuing a heart for Jesus and doing the things that Jesus burdens us to do, man, that's like, it is the straight up, like it is the inoculation for all this crazy stuff we see in the world. Like if we have more a movement of men like that, that's what'll change this world.
So I just want to say a sincere thank you for like the Resilience Show, and you, like Chad, like you're giving platform for hard, tough like crazy, protective, manly dudes to sit in a chair and like, I'm bawling my eyes out. I don't care, but it's going to touch a lot of people. And that's because you're giving us a platform. So thank you.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. Cause, that is why we're doing this. Like, this is not a show for, I could care less about having a YouTube or entertaining people. Like this is like, I don't touch anything that's not cause driven. And if it gives a guy like you an opportunity to platform you to do more good, man, then that's a win. That's why we're doing it. That's the whole purpose behind the show when we decided to do it. So
yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And we keep doing it. So
I love it.
So, and, man, yeah, pumped. Well, it is the Resilience Show, and the pillars of resiliency: mind, body, social, spirit. All those pillars I believe you have to have. Like you have to be mentally tough, physically tough. You have to be in a strong social community and network. You have to have a strong spiritual foundation. I believe all those things are essential to be a resilient human being. And you've been through so much. You're overcoming. You're still like coming out of the trenches, man. Like you're overcoming so much. Like there's got to be so many lessons that you have. But for those listening, can you give like one kind of nugget of wisdom for living a resilient life?
Great question. Resiliency. I think that people, they don't know how strong they are. I think that society is weak, so they think that they're weak, or they may not have gone through like a lot of trial tribulations, so they're not tough, or the main thing is they're scared. They're scared to face the hard talk. Mom, you're ignoring my dad being a drug addict and doing crazy things. You could either just run away or you could be like, how can I help? That's hard. That's resiliency. Or when you get kicked in the head, like, you have to be resilient or you're just going to fold like a lawn chair. What's going to come out of you just folding in half, like being soft and just falling down? Nothing. You're not going to help anybody. You're actually going to hurt because your family and friends, loved ones are going to see you fall on the ground and not want to get back up. Believe in yourself. Ask for, for me, my worst attribute was asking for help. Mm-hmm. When I'm drowning, I would have just drowned a year ago. And Mike go down, my like teammate, my friend, I need help, dude. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. People need help. Surround yourself with a good circle.
Yeah.
Like, he's so resilient and he's very smart. I could come be more resilient by asking for help. Don't ever give up on yourself. Don't give up on your family, friends, loved ones. Ever. Just don't quit. Be hard to kill.
Yeah.
Believe in God. God's got your back. Mm-hmm. Put your burden on him. He's got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all the pillars right there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's super excited to have had you here in town. And like I said, we're going to go hang out after, but, I hope this isn't the end. It's the beginning. So of a friendship. And, you live, my son just moved and pretty close to where you are now. So I want to connect you guys.
I'm stoked, man. Yeah. I got to learn from your black belt protege.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm stoked.
Oh, good. And push him to start training again.
Yeah.
So we have some awesome sponsors on the show, man. Smith & Wesson, Vortex Optics, Gators Eyewear. Do you have Gators on right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You got some Gators. Yeah. So already down with Gators and BioPro. I don't know if you used BioPro before.
I've used them. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, BioPro's awesome. So they're a great partner for the show. A lot of team guys started using it, especially I had Eddie Gallagher on early on, and he started using it, and now he's like hooked. Ally Wealth Management and Bio Accelerator, a stem cell company now in Columbia that we're partnered with. So we have some phenomenal sponsors. But we want to let you leave with some gifts. I'm sending you a Mighty Oaks swag bag with a bunch of books and different Mighty Oaks stuff, supply of BioPro and some Gators eyewear. But for Smith & Wesson, again, we'll let you pick whatever you want. But I brought out this because this is super cool and not a lot of – I don't think anybody I've given this to anyone yet, but this is a 22 caliber AR platform. It's the model M&P 15-20, TAC 20 or dash 20. So if you don't know, the M&P 15 is the AR platform for the Smith & Wesson and 5.56. M&P 10 is the 308 or 7.62. But this is dash 22. But the upper receiver is the integrated suppressor by JTAC. And so I love this thing because it's literally as quiet as a staple gun. It's so cool. And it feels like a toy. Especially with, you can put, obviously Vortex, they just got a red dot on, but you can put a scoped red dot, Vortex on it. So super cool.
The best part is,
and you can shoot in California. Well, I don't know.
I'm gonna shoot it anyway.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you can.
You can. The
best part is I have like 20,000 rounds of 22. So
really,
we're gonna have some fun with this guy.
And I got this one as well. This is the Performance Center 22 long. LR, is it long rifle? Is it long rifle or long round?
Long rifle,
yeah, long rifle. So, and it has the full JTAC suppressor as well. Super cool. If you shoot, the only thing is, if you shoot subsonic rounds in it, it's not enough to chamber, so you got to go a little bit.
Okay.
Like maybe like a.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to go. You got to
the stinger rounds.
Yeah. Yep. But pretty awesome.
You're making this hard on me right now.
Yeah, that or like I said, we could pick some other stuff, but. This is super fun.
Oh, man. Well, shout out to Smith & Wesson. Thanks, Chad. Wow. This is beautiful.
And it looks super cool. So, but you don't have to decide now. we can do it later.
I think I'll pick the pistol.
Yeah?
I love this thing.
Isn't it cool?
I love pistol. Oh yeah, I shoot pistols a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen your pistol work, man. It's super awesome. We're gonna put the show notes below. If anybody's looking at courses, Defense Strategies Group, that's where you're teaching. And like I said, you get some phenomenal videos of you shooting.
Thank you, brother.
But yeah, thanks again, bro.
Thank you so much for having me on, Chad.
Absolutely.
Seriously, pleasure.
Absolutely, man. Hey guys, if you have not done so yet, please like this episode, comment on it, let Zach know what you thought about the episode, and share it. Share it with someone. We want to get these episodes out as far and wide as possible. Like Zach and I were saying, you never know who you're going to share this with, and it may literally change someone's life, save their life. And so please do that. Also, if you've not done so, join our Patreon family. We have so much behind the scenes content. We just shot a bunch of really cool content out at Smith & Wesson, some great stuff. So join us there. It costs a little bit of money. I think like $5 is the lowest, all the way up to as much as you want to give. But it's actually what keeps the show running, and that content is super awesome. It's worth every penny you pay for it, but it's what helps us keep the show going. So please join our Patreon family and stay tuned till next week. God bless and stay resilient. Hey, what's up, Resilient family? I am so grateful for each of you who tune in every week to hear our episodes. We have such incredible guests and topics that I am passionate about, our team's passionate about, and we could not do it without you. So we're thankful for you. We love you. We appreciate you locking arms with us to be more informed, to become a more resilient community. And I want to invite you to become a tighter part of that community by joining us on Patreon. If you go to our show notes below, you can click the link and get dialed into our Patreon and get extra content weekly. You can join for $15 a month and get behind the scenes footage, get closer access to me. I have monthly Zooms that I'll be doing with some members of the community. And so we'd love to get more involved. Again, go below in the show notes and click the link and join today.